Hello and welcome to Mickeyology, where we take Disney movies a little bit too seriously in an ongoing attempt to trace them to their most likely historical settings. I'm Austin Wrathall, history teacher and Disney devotee, and today we are going to examine one of the most beautiful of all of Disney's animated films, Moana. Usually these when and where videos are much longer and require me to do many long hours of research and painstakingly analyze every tiny historical clue I can find within a film. This time around, though, Disney made my job easy, since the filmmakers behind Moana made the movie with history and geography in mind. We can determine Moana's setting with only a few basic clues about Polynesian history and geography. So, let's dive in. Clue number 1. History. Moana obviously takes place in the South Pacific, a region with a long and adventurous history. Humans settled the Pacific by voyaging out across miles and miles of water to discover the new lands that lay scattered throughout Oceania. This migration moved from west to east as people from Taiwan and other parts of East Asia ventured out to sea circa 2000 BC. This first early Polynesian culture is called the Lapita, and over the following centuries the Lapita spread out over the map, settling the islands of the Bismarck Archipelago and beyond, reaching Tonga and Samoa by roughly 1000 BC. Then, suddenly, wayfinders stopped exploring for a period of about 2,000 years. No one is sure what led Polynesian peoples to stop their voyages, but historians do have a name for this period: the Long Pause. The pause finally ended sometime around the year 900, after which explorers began venturing out again and settled eastern Polynesia at a rapid pace, and soon Polynesian peoples had settled every habitable island in the Pacific. The Long Pause era fits Moana perfectly because the film tells the story of how Moana revives her people's voyaging traditions after they have taken a long pause. And author Charles Solomon confirmed this in his book, The Disney Princess. He writes, "Though we can't know for sure, it is estimated that humans arrived in Australia tens of thousands of years ago. Anthropologists continue to debate the origins and arrivals of the settlers of the smaller islands in a much later era. They agree that around 3,000 years ago, the age of exploration came to a halt. No one knows why, or why it resumed 1,000 years later. Moana is set at the end of that hiatus, about 2,000 years ago, before Tahiti, New Zealand, and Hawaii were settled. It was difficult to find a definitive date for when the long pause ended. There appears to be some debate among scholars over what the exact date was, and I found dates that varied from around the 8th century to a little bit later to a little bit before. One source definitively stated that it was around the year 900. Whenever the long pause ended, we know that Moana takes place at that time. So, where does the movie take place? Clue number 2, geography. We know the long pause began after wayfinders had discovered and settled Tonga and Samoa. So, Moana's home island of Motunui must lie somewhere nearby. Disney confirmed this when they released a map that places Motunui just west of Tonga and southwest of Samoa, just past the island of Niue, which is a real island. Filmmakers also confirmed this in an interview.
According to the scholars, about 3,000 years ago, the migration stopped. They stopped in the area of Samoa, Tonga, Fiji. If there is a location for our fictional island of Motunui, that's where it is.
This map places Tahiti far to the east of Motunui. Tahiti is based on the real-world island of Tahiti, which also resides far to the east of Tonga and Samoa. Conclusion. Based on the movie's historical and geographical clues, I am placing Moana in western Polynesia, near the island of Niue, circa the year 900. So, that is my analysis of Disney's Moana. Please let me know down in the comments what you thought of my conclusions, and let me know which Disney movie you would like me to analyze next. As always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.